Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about a Python keyword you probably use a dozen times a day, return. You definitely know it as the way to get data out of a function. But what if I told you it has a secret, a hidden power that can make your code way cleaner and so much more robust? Let's dive in. So I want you to think about it like this. Your function is like a little machine, okay? It's inside its own little box doing one very specific job. It works perfectly. But now what? How does that machine actually hand you the finished product? How do you get the result out of the box? Well, that, of course, brings us to the first and most familiar job of the return statement, simply getting data out. To put it simply, return is how a function talks back. It's its way of saying, hey, I'm finished, and here's that thing you asked for. And that value, it gets sent right back to the exact spot in your code that called the function in the first place. Here's a super classic example. A function called formatName. It does exactly what you'd think. It takes a first name and a last name, uses the .title method to capitalize them nicely, and then joins them into one clean string. Then, that return statement is what actually kicks the final string back out. So you can see the whole journey of the data right here. Step 1, the raw data, Kirana and Nimnaka, goes in. Step 2, the function does its thing, it processes it, and then step 3, return, hands back that finished product, Kirana Nimnaka. Simple, effective. Now, here's a really crucial way to think about this. When your program is actually running, the function call itself, that format name part, is basically erased and just replaced by the value it returns. So the program stops seeing the function call and just sees the final string, Kirana Nimka, sitting there. All right, so that's job number 1, delivering the goods. Pretty straightforward. But return is not a one-trick pony. It has a second kind of hidden power. It's not just a delivery service. It's also a powerful eject button. And this is a total game changer. The absolute instant a function's execution hits a return statement, the function is over, done. It stops dead in its tracks. It doesn't matter if there are 100 more lines of code below it. They will never, ever be reached. Return means job's done, I'm out. So, how can we use this eject button to our advantage? Well, it turns out this is the key to a really clever and professional technique for guarding your code. Check out this improved version of our format name function. Notice what's happening right at the top before we do any of the actual work. There's an if statement, and it's checking for invalid input. If it finds an empty string, it immediately hits a return statement. And here's the payoff. With valid input on the left, the function just does its thing and returns our formatted name, just like before. But if we give it bad data, like on the right, that first if statement catches it, returns the warning message, and the function immediately exits. The formatting code is never even touched. It's been protected. This powerful pattern has a name, and it's one you should definitely add to your vocabulary, a guard clause. It's just an early return inside a conditional check, right at the top of a function. And its whole job is to guard the main logic from ever having to deal with bad or unexpected data. This makes your function safer and, honestly, a lot easier to read. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the 2 essential jobs of the return statement. So job number 1 is all about outputting data. It sends a result from inside the function back out to your main program. And its second, equally important job is to control the flow. It acts as that immediate exit, which lets us build awesome patterns like guard clauses to write safer, cleaner code. So remember, return is so much more than just an exit door. It's a powerful tool for both communication and control. Now that you know its 2 distinct powers, think about your own projects. Where's the first place you could use a guard clause to make your code more robust? Give it a try.